Hi there. Welcome to Apple World. Notice that her arm is on the rear of his seat. It's stunning. Like I told Puffy, I don't allow men to take me out, sir. I'm great. I truly do not, damn it. Your cat has been spilling tea for quite a long time. Currently, he's uncovering Lori for supposedly being an elegant escort and Steve for being her pimp. Katt has been on a roll these recent days, and it seems as though he is prepared to take his problem with Steve Harvey to a higher level because he has made wild comments about Steve and his girlfriend Lori Harvey, as indicated by Katt. Steve supposedly views Lori as only a wear, and he has been purportedly pimping her out to men in the business, including Diddy. You all remember how Lori began dating Diddy like 5 minutes after Kim Porter passed well, as per Katt. This was completely arranged by Steve. Definitely, Katt is currently coming at Steve and Diddy in full power, and he isn't letting down at any point in the near future. Power Lori into freaking out with, huh? What's going on? I'll have returned to you in the event that JD ain't had made the pure little as a kid you all Diddy been cracking all around the business, okay? So it seems as though there was some more show happening in the Steve Harvey family, and it's more than we suspected, and presently Diddy is being raged to the wreck for some time now. There has been some division in the Harvey family in light of the fact that Steve's natural children feel like he's continuously picking Marjorie and her children, particularly Ori, over them, yet as per Katt Williams, there is a basic justification for that. That is that Steve has supposedly been pimping Lori out to various men presently, looking out from the external. Clearly Steve, for sure, leaned towards Lori over his own children since he has forever been more present in her life than his own children. For instance, his child Bree uncovered that Steve was missing for the initial 16 years of his life. I didn't actually have my father full-time into my life until I was 16, right? How? That is not all, since there are reports that he didn't actually go to the secondary school graduation of his twins. Now someone who realized the twins in secondary school made this disclosure saying, I went to secondary school with the twins, they were a couple of years in front of me yet. Individuals generally talked and everyone's eyes were on them in view of who their dad was. He was absent at their graduation, however. At that point, when it came to Lori, he was everyone ready and available with her, and he even took her on a successive father-daughter date on one of our yearly dad-girl dates in my #1 Japanese cafe. And you recently began conversing with me about folks, and you just let me know that you generally upheld me, and you'd continuously show up for me regardless, and you cherished me genuinely. As per an insider, this generally caused Steve's organic little girls, particularly the twins, to feel a sort way, since they felt dismissed when contrasted with Lori, yet for reasons unknown. Steve purportedly had a ulterior thought process in those father-little girl dates, since what he was supposedly doing during those dates was really training Lori on the most proficient method to catch and keep a man. And get this, he wasn't showing Lori in light of the fact that he needed to help her and land her a superior man. He was showing her since he wanted to pimp supposedly her out to influential men in the business for clout and distinction. I mean, consider it, Lori has had far more dating open doors than Steve's own little girls, which is fascinating in light of the fact that she was the one in particular that he took on those father-daughter dates. Now, assuming you're asking why Steve supposedly shown her and not his little girls, this is on the grounds that he purportedly understood that Lori normally had a fondness for it. In addition to it, likewise helped that she has forever been lovely, and men are normally drawn to her, and Steve was savvy about it, and obviously he benefited from it. And get this, his children have consistently had some significant awareness of this, and it caused a kin competition between his little girls and Lori, since they understood. Last year, a source uncovered that there was a great deal of strain happening in the family on the grounds that the children had become ill and worn out on Laura, certainly standing out enough to be noticed. The source said he made the best choice embracing Marjorie's children and loves them like his own. However, there's a ton of dispute among the mixed Harvey family. There has sadly been some desire waiting among the kin over Lori, who's the most renowned of every one of Steve's children, assuming control over the spotlight with her high-profile love life, while Katt Williams is currently venturing into the visit and spilling some tea on Steve Harvey. Listen when I tell you all, he spilled some hard tea on Steve Ca. Now, in the event that you've been following Katt for some time, you likely definitely realize that he isn't Steve's most diehard follower, and it isn't so much that he considers Steve an opponent in the satire business, it's that he doesn't regard Steve at all. The one thing about Katt is that he has a few extremely high upright principles, which isn't simple for anyone in the business to match, cuz Ability, these CBS are selling their spirits for the most elevated bidder. Well, listen, the bid didn't should be up that high cuz you all eventual astounded what happens in the business in any case. Computer-aided design has consistently felt like Steve offered his ethics to the business and didn't have his very own spine. It deteriorated when C understood that Steve had been taking his jokes and afterward made him look like his own television. In 2018, you came to see me at the satire store do it in 2019, and afterward did it on the Rulers of Parody. Like, what doesn't arrange a? This is a broadcast joke that Imprint Curry helped me punch up and get to the level that it was the very Steve that went to go watch Imprint Curry do his entire sitcom and afterward took all that Imprint Curry had. Now Steve got a sitch where he the head and he wears suit. And afterward, he gets this high top blur making all people of color think he got the best setup in the business. He guaranteed that Steve would come to his show with the sole reason for taking them and making them his, and he got on ahead of schedule. Yet Steve didn't stop there in light of the fact that, as per Katt, Steve additionally took his sad anecdote about how he was poor and living in his vehicle. Recall how Steve has consistently recounted the tale of how he needed to live in this vehicle since he just had $35 to his name. I used to go through the night in lodging parking garages. What was I going to do? Ain't had no place to remain, so I resided in the vehicle. I had $35. And I expressed, come on God man, I've been attempting to make this little glimpse of heaven. You done forgot about me here like this. Well, as per Katt, this was something else that Steve took from him in light of the fact that Steve was rarely bankrupt and never needed to live in his vehicle, like Steve Harvey telling individuals he used to be destitute. That is my story, that is not his story. Steve Harvey was never destitute when Imprint Curry was visiting with him quite a while back. He was making $3,000 a show in real money and completing 5 shows per week. They simply recounted the tales of my gratitude to my significant other. I am where I am. You said that about the principal spouse. You failed to remember that you let us know it was her. Then you proceeded to wed another person who took on a similar mindset as a man. Like, what are you referring to? They just want to modify history. I don't know, you all two individuals might have lived in their vehicle. However, it's only crazy. Concurring to Katt, that is not by any means the only thing that Steve has done in light of the fact that he has done much more currently. Recall how Steve's different children have been feeling that kind of way about how Lori's dating life is greater than theirs. Well, as per Katt, the explanation that Lori's affection life is up there is that Steve has consistently had a hand in her connections in any event, venturing to pimp her out to various men, and it just so happens one of the men he purportedly pimped her out to was Diddy. You all recall in 2019 when Elle began dating Diddy. It was so irregular and out the blue since no one saw it coming, and it was upsetting on so many levels. For one, Lori was just 22 years of age at the time, while Diddy was very nearly 50, and in the event that 28-year advanced age hole wasn't terrible enough, it gets creepier when you understand that when Lori was conceived, Diddy was in his late 20s and had a 5-year-old child, which implies that Diddy's child was more established than his sweetheart. No doubt, that is somewhat dreadful, and as per Katt, that made this more irregular was the way that Diddy had been a major part of Lori's life since the time she was a teen. See, Diddy and Steve ran in similar circles regardless of whether they weren't best pals, and Diddy certainly knew Lori when she was a minor, so the way that he would try and seek after a relationship with her was only all sort of unusual anyway. Katt guaranteed that Lori didn't precisely have anything to do with the relationship on the grounds that Steve basically constrained her into that relationship. What compels it significantly more odd is the way that Lori began dating Diddy just a short time after his ex Kim Porter passed away, and when Kim was alive, she had an extraordinary relationship with Kim. She was disturbed when Kim passed. She even offered her appreciation in a now-erased Instagram post where she said, struggling with handling this one, you are a particularly gorgeous individual all around. I'm so happy I let you know the amount I cherished. What's more, missed you the last time I saw you. Your energy was really something exceptional, a holy messenger on the planet. Presently in paradise, dear mother Kim M. I can't help thinking about how she realized Kim Dorman is. It's since she was dating Diddy's child. Well, in any case, she was so agitated about Kim Porter's demise, yet she began dating Kim's child daddy, as it were, several months after Kim passed. Either Laura was really too confronted, or the relationship was despite her desire to the contrary. Yet, as per Katt, it was the last in light of the fact that Steve pursued the open door of Kim's passing to slide Lori right in. Katt called attention to how crazy it was that Steve would pimp Lori out to Diddy surprisingly. I mean, Diddy has gained notoriety for being a miscreant and keeping in mind that the overall population didn't have the foggiest idea how terrible it was until Cassie dropped her claim. Individuals in Diddy circle realized what was happening. As per Cassie, it was a loosely held bit of information that Diddy used to put his hands on his sweetheart. Subscribe Apple World for more videos.